Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, this morning I'm going to be dropping my tent and changing my location for my tent. Let me show you what I've been doing. I'm out back here on the last few acres of the farm. That's the neighbor's property over there. Our property line ends pretty much at the end of that sumac row there and up against the wood line. That corner is the corner of our property. Yep. I think these fields are going to stay fallow this season. I don't think he's going to plant it. I know they've turned it a few times, but I don't think they're going to plant back here this year. We're going to cut down this tree line. We're going to take all of that out. That's got to go. Give that a few years, those are going to be big trees. So it's best that we take all of that shit out now. That's a culvert pit. That's a ditch, as you can see over there. That dip runs all the way down to the other end. And it's drainage. And when it gets wet back here, it gets wet. It gets wet. So I'll be pulling up this tent. Let me show you what I got going on. I went ahead and I used to have my shooting stand behind where the tent was. It was a 6-footer, 6-foot platform. And I decided to break it down and move it. Let this area come back. And I've moved my stand to the back here. Let me show you what I've done. I actually just rebuilt it from scratch. And this is my shooting platform. Yep. Fire pit is going to be over there. And yeah, I can swing back here, park my vehicle. When hunting season comes on, I can actually bunk in my vehicle. I don't have to pitch a tent. I think I'm going to put a roof on this, keep the rain off my head. Yep, but here we go. Welcome. Welcome. Yep. Nice place to sit and have lunch. Just chill out. So putting this together is what I've been doing for a minute. It's a real nice chill spot. You want to cool out. Like now that I've got this erected, you know, when I'm not here, I have no control over who uses this. This is private land, and neighboring properties are all posted. But every now and then, people do come on this side and exercise their hunting rights, actually against the landowner's wishes. Even though Hank is not posted, people should always stop, see the landowner. You know, if you want to hunt their property, my recommendation and suggestion is you make a copy of your hunting license and papers and permits. You make copies of that, and you present them to the landowner with a copy, if you care to, your driver's license, or make sure that they've got, you know, your name, address, and all of those particulars. And if you can give them advance notice and say, hey, this is when I want to hunt your property, give them that as well and ask them if you can do it. In most cases, even posted property, you'll find that the landowners can be relatively cool and all fairness, you know, they should know who's running across their property at all times, especially in this day and age. That motherfucker can get shot, you know, running up on somebody's property. You know, thank God weed is legal in the state, because back in the day when weed was guerrillaed in the state, a lot of people took that mentality really seriously. But fortunately, guerrilla growers don't have that problem anymore. Most people can grow their weed at home in their garden or in the closet, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, I give thanks and praise for this privilege, you know, to be able to hunt this property. And at 76 years old right now, this is a blessing, you know, where I don't have to be running up and down the mountains and stuff like that. I could shoot deer in transit on these flats. And it's all about timing. It's all about timing. Right now we got crops coming in. We're getting ready to start harvesting carrots this week. We're in the second half of August, moving into late August now. I think today's the 19th or the 20th of August. And I keep looking around like this because we've got a lot of turkey on this farm, and they pop up every now and then, crazy. And I can see their tracks right now on the other side of the creek, in the area down the creek there where they come out of the bushes and come into the fields. They're moving back and forth through here. And yeah, I can see turkey track. I see something that I want to say is deer track along the bank. Could be. Could be. I should take a walk over there and take a look, see if I can cross. It's shallow enough. I got boots on, you know. I could cross over there and take a peek. Next 2 weeks, beginning of September, small game season opens up. Squirrels will be fair game. I can start shooting squirrels. I don't like to shoot things out of season, mainly because I don't like the headache, you know, even though I can here on the farm, if they're a pest. You know, the landowner will give me that right. But we're helping each other out at that point. Yep. So, that's the story, Morning Glory. Catch up with what's been going on for me. My cousin told me not to tell people that I'm homeless. But, you know, what the fuck? It is what it is. You know, he says, just tell him you're living in an adventure. Well, he's kind of right. I am living in an adventure. You know, I give thanks that I've still got a little bit of oomph left in me. Oh, here comes somebody. My boy Maxwell across. I guess he's working the onions. Yep. Yo! Can't hear me over the tractor. My boy, my brethren. Yeah, it looks like they're harvesting scallions and things. Yeah. Yeah, that's Maxwell and Jermaine. They're doing the do. Gotta be careful out here with my dreads, man, because there's just so much visitors. They all want a piece of me. I'm so tasty. Make sure I'm not carrying anybody back home. Actually, I'm going to go home. Well, my temporary bunk. These guys are allowing me to bunk up at the bunkhouse. I've been sleeping out here in my tent. I kind of prefer it in a way when the weather's nice. You know, it's quiet, really quiet. I love that part. Plus I'm deaf, so it just assures me I'm not hearing anything, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I'm gonna go take a shower. We'll hold a fresh, while the guys are out here working, they're at the house, it's one bathroom and it's like non-stop. There's 6 guys, me makes 7. Everybody, 4 of us kind of cook together, and 2 other guys kind of cook their own meals. But yeah, it's orderly, but it can get chaotic. And these brothers chat serious patois. I mean, they put me on notice, man. I'll be like, what was that? Come again? I think I know Jamaican, my own people. I think I know what they're saying, but I can't keep up with some of the hardcore patois. That's a serious thing. Yeah. But they're kind enough to like, did you understand what I was saying? And I'm like, can you kind of break that down? So with combination of slang words, traditional, ancient language. Yeah, brothers are hard, man. Most of the farmers are like that, because they come from the real core working class in Jamaica, you know. I'm getting a low power register. I don't know if it's my phone or my camera. My camera should have a good battery, but I think maybe my phone probably just hit 20%. So I'm gonna make this short and sweet, I just wanted to let you guys know what's been going on for me. Let me change this, turn this around. Yeah, that's the way that should be. It's not a seating problem. I like to find a balanced spot so the gun is balanced. Plus I don't want the chamber caught up in the receiver here, in the vise. I want it to be able to eject shells with no problem. Yeah, man, that's better. That's better. That's better. Chamber's empty. There's nothing in there. Boy. I actually shot a deer from this spot a couple of years ago. I shot 2 deer in that field a couple of years ago. Yep. One was way across on the wood's edge, and that was 180 something yards. I don't think you can really tell from here, but where those yellow brush and that single tree is, right there, we dump, it's a big carrot pile, old veggies that are coming out of field. We don't want to put them back in the field because sometimes they can get diseased, and we don't want to put that disease back out in the field. So we essentially locate one spot, drop everything, carrots, potatoes, turnips, all the leafy greens, you name it, old onions, potatoes, I mentioned potatoes. But it becomes a meeting spot for most of the folks, the animals that are here, and it's usually very peaceful. They can come there, they can sit, they can eat, nobody bothers them until hunting season and I show up. I take advantage of that pile of food. So some people could say it's unethical, but when the mission is to harvest food and you have seasonal restraints, time restraints, legal restraints, you got to take every advantage that you can. I personally didn't put the food there. The food is, it's a garbage area where animals now have free reign to come. I'm just going to try and catch them before they get there. And yeah, that's the ticket. So, like I said, I'm going to go take a fresh, I'm going to go hold a fresh, get myself together, grab a bite to eat. About a 2 o'clock meeting with a representative from the Veteran Services that is helping me get into a place. They actually have found, bring you up to speed, they have found an apartment. I'm going to go check it out. My son actually went and checked it out. It's up in the area where he lives, way up north by the Canadian border. But, I need to get in someplace immediately. I can't keep hanging out the way I'm hanging out, I need to be able to settle, peace of mind, kind of get focused and organized, get my finances back in order, just settle. I lost a ton of personal belongings in this eviction, this illegal eviction, for which I'm going to seek recourse with the court and with this landlord. He's broken the law at every turn of the hat, right down to the fact of when I was asked to leave and had to leave so much of my personal belongings. Unbeknownst to me, the law is written under duress. If a tenant who's under duress to leave cannot remove all of his personal belongings at one time, or within the time restraints that have been set up by the court or the sheriff or the lawyers, however, the landlord is supposed to get all that stuff, package that stuff up, and then put it in the storage room and then give me the bill. I would have been glad if something like that happened, but it didn't. They just took all of my personal belongings and stuff that I couldn't take out, straight to, I believe some of it was gleaned by the workers that were working for him. And my neighbor told me that, no, they took stuff like air conditioners and shit like that. And they put it all in their cars and they just took it. Whatever I had left that was usable, which was a lot of shit. But one of the sad parts is I have a bed, a futon. I'm used to sleeping on a futon. And the density of that mattress is, I've been on that mattress for over 30 odd years. My youngest daughter was born in that bed at home. And I've been sleeping on that same spot ever since she was born. She's well in her 30s now. That's one thing that I really fucking miss, is my bed. So, until then, I'm not going to get all melancholy and all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm just going to let it be. Trying to find a decent meditation and take the stress and strain off my head. Nobody deserves this kind of shit. I definitely don't deserve it. Paid my rent for 20 years in that spot. Didn't know that motherfucker a penny. And he wanted to play pool. He wanted to play dirty pool. So, he was a fucking lawyer. The landlord was a lawyer. A real estate lawyer. Runs his own management company. He's well paid up with all the fraternities, all the law colleges around. I'm sure he's a big contributor. And him and the judge were really pretty good buddies. Motherfuckers. So anyway, let me let that go. I gotta let that go. Yeah. Until we meet again, people. That's the story. That's the word, hummingbird. Stay blessed, people. I certainly am trying. I do.